Margaret's story begins in the quiet town of Willow Creek, where she had lived alone for nearly a decade after the passing of her beloved husband, Thomas. At 67 years old, Margaret had settled into a predictable routine, mornings spent tending to her garden, afternoons lost in books, and evenings filled with quiet contemplation by the fireplace. The world had slowed down around her, and while she cherished the peace, a subtle emptiness had nestled deep inside her heart. Her children had long since moved to bustling cities for work and families of their own, leaving Margaret with only occasional phone calls and holiday visits to fill the void. Despite this, she carried on, a pillar of quiet strength in her little home, surrounded by memories of a life once full of laughter and dreams. One autumn afternoon, as amber leaves danced in the cool breeze, Margaret noticed a moving truck pull up across the street. The house had been empty for months, the for sale sign swinging faintly in the wind. A man stepped out, perhaps in his 40s, carrying boxes with a tired but determined air. Margaret watched from her window, curiosity flickering in her eyes. Later that day, as she pruned her rose bushes, she saw the man struggling with a heavy box near his front door. The sight stirred something unexpected within her, a desire to reach out, to offer help, to connect. Setting aside her clippers, Margaret approached him with a gentle smile. "Would you like some help with that?" she asked softly. He looked up, a bit startled but welcoming. "Thank you, that would be wonderful." They carried the box together into the house. His name was Jeremy, and he had recently moved to Willow Creek to care for his elderly father. Their initial conversations were polite, filled with the usual niceties exchanged between neighbors, but something deeper began to form beneath the surface, a mutual respect and a shared sense of companionship neither had anticipated. Over the following weeks, Margaret found herself drawn into Jeremy's world. He invited her to join him in his small backyard garden, asking for advice on growing vegetables and herbs. The simple act of planting seeds and tending the soil rekindled a passion in Margaret she had long thought lost. Their days grew intertwined with quiet moments of laughter, shared stories, and the comforting presence of friendship. Jeremy's kindness reminded Margaret of the warmth she had once known, not as a romantic flame but as a human connection that breathed new life into her days. One chilly evening, Jeremy brought over a basket filled with fresh bread and homemade jam. They sat by the fire sipping tea and talked about their dreams, hers once filled with adventures and aspirations, now cautiously awakening. His filled with hope to build a new life in a small town filled with kindness. Margaret began writing again, penning letters to friends and journaling her thoughts, inspired by the renewed sense of purpose Jeremy's friendship had sparked. She even enrolled in a local art class, something she had dreamed of doing for years but had never dared to pursue. As the seasons changed, so did Margaret's spirit. The weight of solitude lifted gently, replaced by a quiet joy and gratitude for the simple things. The smell of fresh earth, the smile of a neighbor, the warmth of a shared meal. Her children noticed the difference during their visits, a sparkle in her eyes, a lightness in her step. Margaret felt alive again, not because of any grand event, but because of the kindness of a stranger who reminded her that life's chapters are never truly closed. Margaret's journey was not about reclaiming lost youth or chasing fleeting happiness. It was about embracing the present, cherishing human connection, and rediscovering the endless possibilities that await, even in later years. This story is a gentle reminder that no matter our age or circumstance, it's never too late to find joy, purpose, and love, sometimes in the most unexpected places.